All right. Hello and welcome to the Lugo's Journey podcast. Today I have my guest John Morin, also known as Zexy Zek.
Yes, hello.
It is great to have you. First, I want you to introduce yourself.
Cool, yeah, thanks for having me. My name is John. I'm a student here at Indiana University. For the last 8 or 9 years, I've been making YouTube videos, mostly gaming videos. Grown to just over 2 million subscribers, I think 500 million views, and now working on a startup here in Bloomington.
That's awesome. Mm-hmm. So first, this is called Lugo's Journey podcast, and the reason why it's called Lugo's Journey podcast is because it is all about the hero's journey, all about the individual person, and how the hero, which is you in this case, just absolutely, created a successful life for yourself. So I want to start from when you were a kid. How did you get into Zexy Zek?
All the way as a kid? Yeah. So Zexy Zek, that's the gaming channel. So it started way before that. I mean, my first YouTube video was when I was 9, and it was just me jump roping with a slinky. It was kind of like right when YouTube started. When I was 9, that would have been, 2008? So 2 years after YouTube was founded. And I originally did like real life videos. Like I dress up in a penguin costume, play the saxophone. Like I've always just wanted to like do something like funny on the internet. Eventually I got into video games and a lot of Call of Duty, so I started making a lot of Call of Duty videos. I probably made like 100 to 200 Call of Duty videos, edits. None of them got more than 10 views, right? Like that's how it was back then, especially for a young kid trying to make gaming videos. It's kind of like a toxic community back then. Yeah. Where if you're like a squeaker, they don't really respect you. So
I didn't see that. Were you a squeaker?
I was a squeaker, so I didn't have much of a chance, but I love doing it. Like there's nothing more satisfying like making a video, uploading it, than watching it yourself. You're just like, oh, I made that. So a lot of Call of Duty. And then one day I was introduced to the game Minecraft in 2011. This was when it was in very early alpha, probably had a couple thousand users. And this guy named C-Nanners, I don't know if you know him, big gaming channel, kind of pioneered like Minecraft gaming videos. He made great videos on it. He made like 10, like I'm gonna make Minecraft videos. So I started making Minecraft videos. I'd play every night. Like I'd skip school dances to play Minecraft with my friends. Wow. Like that was just, it was like everything to me, like gaming and Minecraft. And so I made a lot of videos, and then...
Did you post those online?
Yep, so I would post those. I probably went through 8 or 9 YouTube channels. I wish I still had them, but I would delete them after because I was like embarrassed. Because, when you make something and you look back on it later, you're like, that's cringe. Like, I can't believe that was me back then. So I'd delete them, but I wish I could still see them. But I went through, 8 or 9 channels, and then eventually Zek was the name that kind of stuck with me through gaming.
What was the origin, or was it just
so back in the day on like Xbox and like online gaming forums, it was really cool to have 3-letter username. Like if you had a 3-letter username, you're like royalty. Like they're like, how did you get that? So I really like the letter Z. Something about it, it's a cool letter, sounds cool, end of the alphabet. So I went through a bunch. I went like zip, zap, just trying to find something. Yeah. And eventually Zek was the first one that was available, like the first 3-letter username I could ever find. So I was like, whoa, no way. So I took Zek, and then when I was making my current channel, one of my friends jokingly said, oh, you should make it Sexy Zek. I was like, Sexy Zek? Like a little idea, like why not just Zexy Zek? And then that was the name. And then that's how that channel got started, after a lot of failed channels. Not failures, just...
learning experiences.
Yeah, learning, growth,
So how many videos do you think you made before you started doing Zexy Zek?
I'd say real life videos, probably 20 or 30, not that many. Because I was like a little kid still, I didn't really know how to use that
How old were you around? So 2011, so you were like...
I was like 12.
12, wow.
Yeah. So probably made 30 real life videos. Gaming videos, probably like... over 100 videos. Wow. Like that never went anywhere, but with making more and more content, every video is in theory better than the last video. Yeah. So as long as you make a lot of videos, when you can make 500 videos, your 500th is going to be almost infinitely better than your first one. Yeah. So the chances that your 500th one blows up is almost infinitely better than the chance that your first one blows up.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think my success, like early, could definitely be attributed to just having so much experience building content that when the market started to grow, I was one of the few that was already making quality videos.
Wow. So did you find that in the beginning you were absolutely terrible, and then by the end you were sort of, not great, but you sort of understood like your market and things like that?
Yeah. So I think a lot of it back in the day was like equipment. It was like hardware. I started like on a MacBook Pro, actually, a 2008 MacBook Pro.
Wow.
And this was in like 2011, so it was
like
already
really old.
It was already old. I used a Blue Snowball, which is like this mic, but the worst version.
Okay.
I don't like to call it the worst version, but the cheaper alternative.
Yeah.
You know,
the Blue Yeti.
So the video starts, you hear, I go, it's like you barely hear me.
Yeah.
And you know, I watch it back. I'm like, oh, that's not good. So like, I would basically iterate. And I'd be like, oh, I need to fix this. Like, the audio can't sound like this. No one's gonna watch it. So I'd work on, you know, audio quality. I'd learn about microphones. I'd be like, oh, what's a cheap microphone I can buy as an 11, 12-year-old kid?
Yeah.
You know, and I'd figure it out, you know, do some chores around the house, whatever you have to do.
Wow.
You know, then I got this exact mic, the original Yeti, and it's a great mic. This mic's been around forever.
Yeah.
So, yeah, over time, I think I could watch my own videos and objectively pick out what needed to be better.
That's cool.
So by the time, you know, I was making like in my late stage of like Minecraft when it started to blow up, it's not that my videos were like perfect, but I'd made so many improvements in each video that by the time I got to like that point, like it was pretty good. It was good enough for people to watch.
So did you find that in the beginning when you had like 0 viewers or 10 viewers a video, did you find that you were motivated by becoming famous one day, or were you motivated just because you liked it and you wanted to keep doing it?
I think there's a little bit of both. I think we, like, back at the start, we would look up to like gaming creators, just because like they were having fun, they're making videos and they're getting views. It's like that's like everything you could want. So, you know, we'd play games together. Like all my first videos were with friends, you know, like gaming videos. There's definitely that aspect of, you know, wanting your videos to be seen.
Yeah.
And I think that's like the encouragement to improve. But underneath it all is, you know, you're playing a video game. Like, you have to have fun. Yeah. If you're making a video and you're not having fun on the video game, it's no one's going to want to
watch it.
If you don't want to make it, people aren't going to want to watch it. That's kind of like it.
Well, that's what I found. I found that, you know, even in my sort of, when I started in the beginning, I tried to get like very famous with the podcast. And I noticed that the more I try to get famous with it, the less I have of motivation to do it.
Yeah.
When you know, I'm posting and only like 10, 20 people are going to see it. So I think that when I was motivated by something that came from like, you know, I actually care about it. You know, I got a little bit more motivated to actually do it.
Yeah, I think having that like intrinsic motivation is really helpful. Like, you know, if you're chasing like something that's not like, I don't want to say not real, but if you're chasing like, you know, fame or money, like you might get there, but you're way more likely to just do something you love and people find that passion in you and follow. Like the people that, I mean, we follow, I know there's a bunch of kids that might follow people that we don't really respect as much, but like I'm sure the people you follow, people I follow, like you respect the person. You're like, oh, they're driven by this, and that thing is never like fame or money. Like, you know, like Casey Neistat, he's driven by filmmaking. Like I can see that in all of his videos. I'm like, oh, you know, C-Nanner, he's driven by gaming. So I think like if they see you're driven by, you know, podcasts, you know, talking to interesting people, that's way more attractive. Like that's something people would actually want to watch. They want to see your passion.
That's so interesting. So you say that if somebody finds a way, because I think that's hard, right? If you're motivated by fame, but at the same time you want to come off that you're motivated intrinsically, like you can't really do that. But if you actually find a way to do something that you actually like, it's actually going to bring you towards that goal, which is a little external.
Yeah, that's like the example I was just trying to say. Like when you follow people, you don't follow them because they want to be famous. Like you follow them because like they love doing something. You're like, that's cool, I'm going to follow that. So I think that's a cool tip.
Wow. So that's cool. So how did it, so take us through like what happened right after that. So you started to blow up a little bit. You started to get some following. What was it like sort of like managing that? Yeah,
well, it started, you know, my first probably 20, 30 videos didn't get any views. I actually got an opportunity early. I made a Minecraft song parody. I had to pay the singer like $300, which to a 12-year-old kid is like that's a ton of money. Like, this is money I'd had saved for like weeks.
So what was it that made you pay him?
So I already made Minecraft songs. I used to be into that stuff, like Minecraft parodies. But I would sing them, and I'm like not a very good singer. So you need to get like a good singer, and I would see other parodies where like if you had an account and I was watching your video, I would notice the singer isn't you. So I'd be like, oh, that's a good idea. Sorry, let me silence this. But I decided like I need someone else to sing the song. Like,
wow.
I like making music. So I found someone. They said they would do it for $300 to a kid. I was like, whatever. Like, I'll pay them. I don't know value. I'm 12.
Dude, if someone asked me to make $300, right. I would say no chance. I would give you 10 when I was 12 years old.
So I was also making money through my Minecraft server by then. That's like a whole different business.
Oh yeah, my friend had a Minecraft server.
Oh yeah, that was a whole different thing. That's where a lot of my money came from. But so I made that song parody, and it was featured on this pretty popular show at the time called the Minecraft Monday Show, hosted by Beat Bob Vox, and he featured my video. In it, because every episode he would do like community, like what's going on in the Minecraft community. Yeah. He's like, this guy said my name totally wrong, like Zeki Zeke, like that's something I've always dealt with. He was like, oh, you guys have to check out this song like on his channel. So that sent over like maybe like 2,000 people, which is huge.
Yeah.
So
for views, right? 2,000 views.
That's huge. Yeah, 2,000 views on my video when all my other ones at 50. So I was like, whew. Like, I made it. And then I made videos, and once, someone's like, I might have only gotten like maybe 100 subscribers, but I mean, that's the start. So I make a video, all of a sudden 100 people see it pop up in their feed, 50 of them watch it, and lucky enough, I was good enough at making videos at that point where they're interesting. Yeah. So people would watch them, they'd come be like, oh, this is great, like I thought you just did Minecraft songs. But they were watching like the other videos. And then, from there, it grows, Really? People come back and watch every video. YouTube's like, this guy's onto something. I'm going to push your video out to a couple new people. They watch it. Content's good enough. They stick around, and it kind of snowballs. Wow.
So did you find that it grew, like, exponentially? Like, within 1 year, you ended up having, like, going from, like, 100 to, like, 3,000?
Yeah, it was... I guess exponential is the word. I think there's probably a better mathematical thing to say. But, I mean, it would start with 10 subscribers a day, 20, 30 a day, 40 a day, until I was getting 100 a day, 200 a day, 500 a day. So it was never like one a day, then like 10,000 a day, 10,000. Yeah. It was gradual, but it was like accelerating. Yeah. I guess accelerating is a better word.
Makes sense. So did you find that even throughout this process, so your style when you're on, when you're doing your own personal film videos, and also, you're doing your skateboard videos and the video game videos that you make, you have like a distinguished personality to you, right? Like you're very like, I guess goofy's the right word, or like silly, right? That sort of, and the fun, entertaining, but at the same time, very, very silly. Right. And do you find that, it took you a while to develop that and develop into your own character?
Yeah, I think when you start making videos or a podcast or anything, you're a little nervous. Like you can't really be yourself. Like this is like a weird example, but I think it has a good point. Like with my friends, like we'll be goofy, we're like, oh, we're just like having so much fun, like, yo, we should turn this into a TikTok. Yeah. Second I start recording them, they freeze up. They're like, oh, like they can't be goofy anymore and fun. And that's something like you have to become comfortable on camera. Like we're filming something that no one probably would have seen, but like the camera pressure still gets you. So that's something you have to develop, like being comfortable being filmed. So I think like when I had that persona, it almost wasn't a persona. It was almost like reaching my like truest self in a way. Yeah, like it, like when you watch my videos now, that's kind of like my purest form of like child, like fun gamer. Yeah. Like I'm just having a great time, and I'm being goofy and I'm yelling and stuff. And
it's your natural.
Yeah, right? You almost become more natural over time. And I think that can seem backwards because it almost seems like you're building like a character, but in reality you're just going deeper into yourself and being more comfortable with like how you really are.
Wow. I think the biggest sort of like theme of the day, I guess, is like sort of the consistency that comes with going after like any goal, right? So even after even after you made your first video, you're like, this is crap. But again, right, even in terms of developing your identity, right, or developing your identity on camera, you're just like, holy crap, after my 100th video, I was more myself.
Yeah, I think, have you read Originals by Adam Grant?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he talks about like quantity being like the only thing that makes, produces great works from like composers and painters. It's quantity. If you make 10,000 paintings, like you're probably gonna have one amazing painting. Yeah. Like even if you have 9,000 bad ones, one of them's got to be good if you make 10,000, and assuming you get better every time. So that's the same with like videos and podcasts. It's all about quantity. Like you got to make a ton of them, or else you're never gonna get better. I mean, if you make like one a week, like that might not even be enough. It would probably take you years.
Yeah.
So
there's this book, actually. It's by Grant Cardone. It's called The 10X Rule. And he gave a great story. He goes, when I was on Twitter, he's like, first of all, he said, the only thing that stops you from growing your base is not that people don't like you. It's that most people don't know you, right? Like 99.9% of people don't know you until you start to get traction and things like that. So what he did was he was posting 2 times a day on Twitter. He's like, okay, this is cool. He said, you know what, let me 10x it, right? Which is the 10x rule.
Right.
And he started posting, I think it was 48 times a day on Twitter. 48 times a day on his Twitter account.
That's kind of normal for Twitter.
Which is,
twice an hour. I know people that do that.
Really, to me, that's like insane, right?
It is still insane, but yeah.
Of like original content. I don't know if he said retweets or not. And then also he started sending out newsletters every day instead of once a week. Yeah. And he's like, I got so much backlash for it, but at the same time, I got so many followers for it.
Yeah,
right?
Isn't
like
that insane?
Exactly. Like it builds up over time, and people only saw that one piece of content, and then they scroll through. They're like, holy crap, this guy's really good.
Yeah, I mean, if you pump out a ton of stuff, someone's probably gonna see it. But I'd say there's caution with that too, because I only make one video a week or one video every 2 weeks. There's stretches where I make one video a month, right? And you would think, that's a bad way to grow, but I think it's worked for a lot of channels, like YouTube channels, particularly if the content you're producing can't easily be repeated. So like what I do, I mean, it takes me a full day to make a video. Like if I made a video every day, I would have no free time. Like I would make the video and then spend the next day like editing it, and like that's first of all unrealistic, but second, people are gonna get sick of watching it. Like, imagine if the Super Bowl was every Sunday. Like, are you gonna tune in and watch the Super Bowl every single Sunday?
That's a good point.
Like, no, you'd be like, oh, I watched it last week. So that's the same with posting like daily YouTube videos. It's like people will watch until they're like, I'll skip this one. Like I see them all the time. Yeah. But when I post a video like once a week or once a month, like I can almost guarantee like someone who's following me, they're gonna be like, oh no way, he posted, like I gotta watch it. I gotta watch the whole thing too, because I might not get more for a while.
Really?
So like the 10x thing is great, especially for Twitter, TikTok, like pages like that. But
definitely like early on, kind of growing.
When you're building like content, like I think that's where a lot of channels really had their downfall on YouTube, was posting too much. If you spread it out, I know my favorite channels, they post like not that frequently. I think you can post frequently if you have a lot of good original content in every single video.
Yeah, that's kind of what Gary Vee does. Right?
Yeah,
he posts every day, but it's really solid.
It's always something good. But like at least for me, if I was posting, because the way my gaming videos work now is I take like fan challenges, and I try to do the challenges in a game. Which that's first, cool. Community engagement, awesome. The second, I get maybe like 4 or 5 challenges a day. That's not enough to make a video every day for a week.
Yeah.
Like if I had all the challenges I currently have, I could probably only make 3 full videos out of it.
Really?
Wow. So imagine if I try to post every day. By halfway through the week, I'd be out of content. But I spread that out over a month, and the viewership stays consistent, and it grows like over time. That's a weird thing, kind of a niche thing that might not be super like relatable to what you're doing. But it's something to think about too.
Yeah. So when you were growing in the beginning, did you find that you posted really often, or did you?
Oh yeah.
Like it was like once a day.
Twice a day. Like once you get that excited at the start, you're like, I don't want to do anything but this. So I'm like 2 videos a day. You grow like that, and I did a bunch of different series. Like nowadays I have like 1 series on my channel. Back then I'd have like 8 going at the same time.
Wow.
2 videos a day. Like right now it's almost, I can't even imagine what it'd be like to post 14 videos in a week.
I can't imagine that either.
Let's see. Over the last 4 months, I have less than 14 videos. So thinking about doing that in 1 week is kind of mind-boggling. But I think like as you're getting at the start, like that's a good way to get better really fast. You improve every day. Like you have to improve if you make 2 a day. Like there's no way you could get worse at something like that. And you get a better chance of being seen. The problem with that is how many newsletters you get that you don't even read, because you get one like every day, and you get them from 15 different companies. That once you start getting a following, it can be annoying to hear from one person so frequently.
I could see that, right? Because then people, I think there's a value. You were saying that before, right? Having like a loyal customer or viewer who watches literally every single video.
Yeah.
And nobody's going to watch 14 videos in a week. Like, they just don't have that much time for you.
Right.
That's interesting. No, I think it's really cool, because I think for every goal that we do, we sort of have like a burst of energy, right? Like that tremendous burst of energy. How long did it last for you? Was it like, especially since you were a kid, did it last for years, or was it one of those things?
Yeah, I think. No,
we're good. Yeah, was it one of those things that lasted just an incredibly long amount of time?
I'd say for my very first video on my channel was 2012. And then I'd say it really started to die around 2015. So I think there was really that time where it was like every day. Like I loved doing it, and then there's a time where they call it creator burnout.
Yeah.
I don't like any terms that are made by non-creators because it's cringy.
Yeah.
Like the term influencer wasn't made by a bunch of YouTubers. Like,
I don't like influencer.
Right, it was made by a bunch of marketing executives somewhere that call you an influencer. So like I would never introduce myself as that because that's not what we call her. So like not that weird, like a different. But
but the goal isn't really to influence, right?
Yeah.
It's
kind of like in music, like bands usually don't define their own genre. Other people define their genre, and that's not really like the band would never be like, oh, we are a XXX band. Like, no, we just make music, and then people define us.
So have you figured out what you define yourself as, or are you just kind of like you're yourself, right? I'm Zexy.
Yeah, I make gaming videos. That's what I do. Do I influence people? Maybe. Like, am I a YouTuber? Maybe. But what in reality, like objectively, I make gaming videos. So call it whatever you want, but I don't want to go into a room and be like, oh yeah, I'm an influencer. Like first it has a negative stigma to it.
I think so too.
Second, like that's not my term. Like I wouldn't call myself something that like I'm just labeled by a marketing executive as,
No, I kind of like that. So, and it's also authentic, right? So it's like, you don't want to become part of like a stigmatized group. You just want to be yourself. You want to be the person.
And there's a group of influencers that love to call themselves that, put it in their bio.
Yeah.
Right at the top of their Instagram, influencer.
Yeah.
Like, that's just like weird. Like, keep it how it is. I make gaming videos. I'm a gamer.
I like that. So did you notice that when you actually started blowing up and things like that, you had more attention from other gamers and other people who made gaming videos? Did you sort of collaborate with people?
Trust me, man. It's a weird community. Like, people would reach... Like, I've been screwed over by people. I've had bad relationships with like other gaming video people. It's weird, man. People like it gets into their heads, and I'm sure I went through a phase like that too. I mean, it's almost inevitable, but you grow through it usually. I think like if you look at PewDiePie, I'm sure you've heard of.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure he had a phase where it was like in his head, it's like, oh, I'm the big. But like now you can see he's almost grown to the point where. He's back to
he's just very humble. Yeah,
very humble.
So what do you think it was like when you say you got screwed over? Obviously, you don't have to like know names or anything like that. But did you find that people were like just focused completely on themselves? And
oh yeah, to them it's like a business relationship. Like, oh, we should make a video together because I'll get exposure, you'll get exposure. Like that's great if you're like small, you're actually collaborating.
Yeah.
Like if we work together on something, we can definitely help each other. But back then it was like like a DM from someone I've never met, be like, hey, like let's make a video tomorrow, and like we can post it. We'd talk during the video, and then never talk before or after. It was weird back then, but it was kind of like, they would get views, I would get views, but yeah, it was weird. I'd get attention from other gamers, and that's not really like that doesn't reflect real life. Like I don't go around and a bunch of gamers come up to me and they're like, oh, you game, but like on the internet it's a little different. So. It was weird. It was definitely weird. It still is weird.
Yeah, but I think that's kind of nice, though, because then you get that sort of, like, community of... Like, are you good friends with any of the people in gamer communities?
Yeah, I definitely am. I think nowadays I am. Back then it was a little more, like, there was, like, a silver lining, I guess. It wasn't, like, perfect, like, friendship. It was, like, we make videos together. But now there's, like, actual friends that I have that we make videos together because we want to make videos together.
Really?
So it's, like, cool. And, like, a lot of these people have a lot, like, way smaller channels than me because they're, the videos I make in the sub-community of, like, skateboarding gaming videos, very, like, niche.
Yeah.
So there's only maybe, like, 3 or 4 creators, like, that are in the space. And and then there's like 20 or 30 really small ones, and like I've become really good friends with a lot of like the smaller ones because they're like cool dudes. So like we'll make videos, and I love to help them out, like see them grow. But obviously I'm not doing it to get views from them. Like there's a small chance, not to sound like bad or anything, but I like from like a business perspective, I have little to gain from being posted on someone else's channel.
Well, I think that's part of it. I think you do have some business, you have some business interest in them, not because, you actually gain followers or anything like that, but it makes you more interested, right? Like it gets you more excited to make videos.
Right.
And it's that more of like intrinsic instead of like, people chasing followers and fame and all that.
It's good to have friends. Especially friends you can make videos with. So yeah, it's a good little sub community of people.
That's cool. So did you find that actually as you started making gaming videos and all that stuff, and as you reached that stage of like, I don't really have that much of an ego anymore. I'm not really trying to gain any more following. Did you find that now you don't really care about how many views you get or anything like that? It's more of just like, I do it because I like it and it's my thing.
I think that like there's like a tangible moment almost where you can see where my trend. It was when I switched from like Minecraft to Skate 3. I went from basically a mass market to this extremely niche, because like I got older. I got tired of the videos I was making in Minecraft, and I had this kind of in between phase that was really weird, and then eventually went to like a Skate 3 phase. Mm-hmm. But the Skate 3, it wasn't driven by like mad views, mad followers. Like I'll probably never gain the same level of like followers
for like a Minecraft,
right? Because you grow at the same pace as your market, if not a little bit faster.
Yeah,
and people watching a 10-year-old video game in Skate 3, it's a lot smaller, but it's like a tighter community, and it feels like a lot better to post for them and like be a part of that community, because I actually like really want to be in that community.
That's cool. I actually asked you in the beginning, like before we got on camera, I was like, why didn't you go into like something like Fortnite or something that's like so incredibly popular? And I think that's cool, right? How you're not really chasing, the millions of views that comes with making Fortnite videos and things like that.
Yeah, I've never been one to follow a trend. I think when I started with Minecraft, like the trend was growing as I was growing, so it was kind of like perfect.
Yeah.
And then like the trend would move to Fortnite. It'd be like, like I don't enjoy playing Fortnite that much. I'm not that good at it. I'm not gonna fake it for like videos. Like I'm sure I made like 1 or 2 videos with my friends on it, because when Fortnite started, you're goofing off.
Everyone goes nuts. Yeah.
And then it blows up, and now it's all of a sudden like people are really good, and like I suck still. So I'm like I'm not gonna make the videos. Like I would play off camera like with my friends, but it wasn't good enough to like post a video about it. But yeah, even now with like Fall Guys, I don't know if you're following the gaming scene.
That game is very fun.
Yeah, like I have plans to play it tonight with a friend, not for like video, but just to like try it out. Yeah. If I like genuinely really love it and enjoy it, like I'll make videos on it, even though it's like a trend or whatever. But I don't really see that happening. I think it'll be fun, but I don't think it'll be like.
Well, you're saying it all starts with the inside, and then since you weren't very interested in Fortnite, you just didn't want to do it.
Yeah, I think there's been a lot of games like that. Like I like playing like Valorant and Warzone, and like I'll stream those. Like it's fun to stream those. But it's not at the same level of like other games that I like. Like Rocket League, I love Rocket League. I make Rocket League videos, even though that's like a tiny game. That game is almost way smaller than Skate 3. And then Skate 3, I love it. I play it. So yeah, it definitely comes from like doing what you want to do.
Really? So what do you think? Actually, this is a question that I kind of missed, but I think this is really important. What my best friend actually, when he was younger, he wanted to make gaming videos and all that stuff, and I think he made like 12 and then stopped. Right? So what was the difference between someone like you who actually succeeded in it and someone like the 99% of people who just never ended up doing anything from it?
I think there's a couple things. It's like a lot of things that had to come together. First point's kind of sad, but it's true. Like I would rather stay home and play video games than go out and like meet people at a school dance in like 7th or 8th grade. Obviously, like nowadays it might be a little different, but like when I was younger, like all my friends were like online. Like these were my friends, or we game together.
That was very popular in like the Minecraft days and all that.
So first of all, if I was on any given night, you could almost guarantee I was inside playing video games. I think that's hard for a lot of people that like they play sports or they do activities or they hang out with their friends like in middle school and high school. You can't put in the time that's like physically required.
Well, that's the thing. You look at someone like Kobe though, right? Like when he wanted to get into it, I think he said he woke up at 4 a.m., got to the gym by 4:30, then worked out for 2 hours, took a break, worked out for 2 hours, ended up having 4 workouts of 8 hours total a day. Which is like ridiculous.
Imagine if he also liked playing video games. Like he wouldn't physically have the time to put into basketball if he prioritized other things just as similarly.
It's true.
So I think that's the first step. It was my main priority. It was gaming and like meeting friends online rather than in person. The next thing was that consistency, you know. Like I wanted to do it, and I made so many of them. Like when I got to 12 or 13, I didn't be like, oh well, it's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
I was like, oh man, I wish my audio was a little better. Then this video would be perfect, and I'd make it like, oh, there's too much downtime. I need to edit it. I need to cut down the downtime. And so like, I was always just kind of driven to make a better video next time. I still do that.
So what do you think? So I think most of the people who get into video game filming and then they drop off, I think the biggest thing that stops them, the biggest roadblock, is the editing part, right? Because everyone loves playing video games, but nobody likes editing. So what was the thing that got you like really into the editing?
Yeah, that's funny because I'm so like far into all that I forget that editing is not like a skill that everyone like learns at some point. Like to me, it's like editing is just like, oh, cut, you do all this stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, if I had to like really think, it started in like iMovie. I don't know if you use iMovie.
I use Adobe Premiere Pro.
Oh yeah, that's a good program. But honestly, I don't like fully remember. Like it wasn't like I'm watching tutorials. I'm like really trying to learn. It's kind of just like learning by doing.
Really?
Like I'd upload the video, or I'd put the video into iMovie. Be like, all right, I just have to cut out the beginning and I have to cut out the end.
Yeah.
That's easy enough to figure out for anyone. So I'd be like, remove that. And then I'd watch the video and be like, oh, from this moment to this moment, I don't say anything.
I do the same thing.
I'd be like, all right, so what should I do? I should cut it here, delete this part.
Yeah.
And it was kind of just intuitive. And then it got more advanced over time. I think when I started making films, like in high school, that was when I really had to learn how to edit. Because that's like serious editing. That's like taking different shots, combining them, audio, sound effects, like color correction. Like, that's when I really, really started learning like Premiere Pro. But yeah, it's weird. I don't think editing should ever be a roadblock. I think it sounds scarier than it is. I mean, it's not complicated at all.
Well, I think the only thing is playing is super fun. Do you find editing fun?
No, editing sucks. I think everyone can agree.
Yeah.
I think if you're making something creative, like a film or like a piece of art, it's fun to edit because you are making the art. Like the editing is the art, but like. At least for mine, I know a lot of other like YouTube channels are very edited, like very fun, like zoom in, sound effect.
Yeah.
Like I don't do any of that. Mine's literally like cut, background music, send. So for me, no, it's not fun. Like I wouldn't call like one of my gaming videos like a piece of art. Like it's a gaming video, and I chop it up. I put it together. I put music under it. Every now and then I'll do like a funny edit, and that's the fun part. Like, I'll be like, oh, this would be so funny if I like zoomed in, like I cut it up, and like I'll spend like 30 minutes on like one small edit because it's fun.
But you enjoy it, yeah.
But then the other 2 hours, it's like, oh man, I'm just sitting here. I actually have my friends edit my videos like most of the time now.
Oh really?
Because like they're trying to like learn the skills so like they can do it themselves. I'm like,
oh, that's
well,
awesome.
Funny enough, I have a video if you want to edit it.
And you would love to do this.
Yeah, it just becomes really repetitive because that's like drag in the green screen file, green screen, crop, color correct. It's like I could write a manual, like a employee manual, and give it to someone, and they could do exactly what I do.
Really?
So there's no like artistic element of my gaming videos. It's all like very clean cut, but that's not the case for everyone.
Yeah, well, I do the same thing. I mean, for editing podcasts, it's like, first of all, I already have the conversation when I'm editing it, right. So it's like I'm still listening to the podcast, but at the same time, I'm like, I'm not gaining anything more from watching this video, and there's also very little creative element that comes into it because people are just listening to a conversation. So I know I hate editing too because I'm literally sitting there and like,
editing sucks.
Editing does suck.
I love editing films. That's fun because then you're creative and it's like art. But editing something like a podcast, I imagine, is quite dull.
Yeah. So actually, when you do your YouTube video, part of your YouTube videos are films, right? You make films of just random stuff that you did, shaving your hair.
Oh yeah. Sometimes there's an element of that. I had like a period where I did like skits, which were like mini movies.
That's awesome.
Not movies, but like they were like 6 or 7 minutes. I mean, those were the best to edit. Like those are fun.
Yeah.
It's like I got video footage, I have options, I got sound effects, and
you make it more fun.
Yeah. So the film element is definitely fun. Even like some of my recent videos, I'll do like a little skit at the beginning. Like I have more fun editing that 10-second clip than I do editing the next 13 minutes.
Yeah, and you have more energy when you do it too.
But honestly, I never feel more productive than when I finish an edit. I'll sit at my desk, I'll have like coffee or apple juice, You have to splurge when you're editing. You have to give yourself a reason. You know, you'd probably be healthier, drink water or something. So I'm like, I'm about to edit this whole video. Like, I'm pouring, need to gear up. Yeah, I'm pouring some like juice or something. I'm pouring like a real sugary drink.
I should probably try that.
Yeah, you have to. Well, my big thing in life is balance. It's kind of you don't really see it in YouTube videos as much, but if I do something really productive, you should earn something a little like less productive. For me, like if I'm doing a really boring hard edit, I got a bag of chips, I got soda. Like come on, you gotta have something. You gotta balance out the stuff you don't want to do with the stuff you want to do.
That's interesting. Honestly, so I fall weird on that spectrum, and I've been thinking about that a lot lately. Yeah. So there's this thing known in psychology. It's called Prim-X principle, which you exactly explained. It's like if you do a good thing, then you get a reward for it, and the reward would be chips or whatever.
Yeah,
right?
I get a bag of chips. Yeah.
What I found is that you need to be so incredibly disciplined for that to work, right? Okay, so like you seem very disciplined, and that's probably what makes it work. But for somebody who, just loves chips or can't really, do, okay, if I do one, I'll do the other. Right. They'll just throw away the video, the good part, and then they'll just eat the bag of chips. Yeah. Right?
Right. No, so I think this was a phrase from like a Joe Rogan podcast. I don't remember which one. I don't know if you watch all of them.
I watch a lot.
The recent one, I don't know. The girl said like, it can't be Christmas every day. And like that kind of stuck with me. Like, yeah, if like every day you're just like, you're splurging, you're doing like, you're just doing things you want, you're not really being productive. Yeah. You almost lose the joy of the things you actually like. But, if you do something you don't like, you edit a video for 2 hours. When you do something you like, it's so much better. You're like, oh, I earned this. Like, this is way better because it's earned.
That's
rather
interesting.
Than, like, every day just, should I edit or eat this bag of chips? Like, I'll just eat the chips. I'll edit tomorrow. Like, I wouldn't get the same enjoyment out of the chips. It's kind of a metaphor.
No, I mean, it's cool. I think, it's a metaphor for you being incredibly goal-driven. And I think so many people don't really have that sort of, I guess, something that's important that they really want to get. So if you don't have an important goal, then if you take away the goal, the only thing you have left is the chips.
Right, exactly. Yeah, no, that's a good point. That just goes back to like balance, I think.
Yeah, I think that's cool. So I definitely do want to shift gears here because not only are you a content creator, but at the same time, you're just a full-on entrepreneur, right? Like that's just, it seems like it's in your blood.
Do my best.
Yeah, right?
I hate that word too, but.
No, I think it's,
entrepreneur.
Really? Why?
Yeah. I think there's like a subset of internet culture where people call themselves entrepreneurs when they don't really value like what it means to like be an entrepreneur. I also think it sounds kind of like conceited. I mean, it probably doesn't. That might just be my self-esteem. Like if I meet someone, I'm like, I'm an entrepreneur. Like I kind of sound like a dick.
Yeah, no, I could see it, and I think also a lot of people just I think 99% of the people that I've talked to that said they're an entrepreneur just say they're an entrepreneur, right?
Yeah. They call them entrepreneurs.
I was going to say the same thing. Entrepreneurs, right? Like, I think Mark Cuban said that.
Yeah.
Something like that. And it's like, I agree, right? So most of the people that I talk to, and me and John go to the Kelly School of Business, and I find that most of the people that I talk to, they say, I want to go into finance, and then I'm going to be an accountant, whatever, and then I'm going to start my own company. And
you're like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
like,
48 hours in a day maybe. But
yeah, exactly. And they're like, I think by the end of it, I want to be an entrepreneur. And it's like, I think 99% of the people who say that, 99.9% of the people who say that just end up getting into their finance job, but they're still trying to hold on to that dream, that cool talking point of saying, I'm going to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah, I think you can become an entrepreneur whenever. That's definitely true. But I think there's something about wanting to like do your own thing where you don't want to talk about it. You just want to do it, Like I don't go around telling everyone like, oh, I'm an entrepreneur. I work at the startup accelerator. Like, like if they ask, I'll tell them like, oh yeah, I work on my own startup. But I just feel like, as you're saying, the people that talk about it usually aren't the people doing it.
Yeah, I was actually, Farnham Street by any chance?
No.
Farnham Street is they're a podcast, but they're also just like a blog, and they're just like very, very popular. And I was actually reading it this morning. They said, if you're doing something, don't talk about doing it until you are in the process of doing it.
Yeah.
Because if you're not in the process of doing it and you say that you want to do it, then you're going to get that sort of like, oh crap, it's cool that I'm doing this. Right. And you get all the excitement from it.
Don't actually do it.
But then, the actual hard grind that goes into it.
Yeah. No, I agree. But yeah, so it's back to where we started on that. Right now I'm working here on this fitness app.
Yeah, so tell us about it. Tell us all about it.
Sure. So this is a fitness app. We work out of this small office, just me and a couple friends. And we're just trying to make a virtual buddy workout app where you and a friend can work out remotely without having to be together in person or go to a gym. It's all body weight.
Especially in COVID, that's pretty incredible.
So this was a COVID-born idea of people, can't go to the gym as much. People are working out, but they still want to work out with other people. Obviously, we've done our research, and 75% of people agree that they work out more consistently and harder when they're with a friend or with someone else.
Really?
Because first of all, it holds you accountable. If me and you are going to the gym and I'm like, oh, I have one more set, and that I have one more set, and I'm like, I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah.
You're gonna be like, come on, bro, just do it.
Yeah, and we got to the gym, we set this entire thing up. You gotta finish the set.
So that's first of all. Second, there's friendly competition.
So explain the friendly competition. I think this is the best part of the app.
So if me and you wanna use the app, I think a great motivator. This isn't as research based. This is more of just like off
anecdotal,
yeah. If we're gonna work out together, if there's a small element of competition, not brutal competition like where one of us is gonna be sad at the end.
Yeah.
If it's like fun competition, like a feature on the app is game mode, where it gives you a workout challenge, two people the same workout challenge, and it's mostly time trial based or number based. For example, when the app starts, you and your friends are in like FaceTime session, and it would say first to do 20 push-ups wins. Little animation of what a push-up is, just in case you don't know. And then it goes 3, 2, 1. You do the push-ups, and now it's a race side by side. We're gonna have a feature where you can like clip stuff. So if it was like funny, you can clip it, or we want to have a replay feature just in case there's an argument. And then you have to hit the button at the bottom when you finish. First person hit the button wins. And then we want to make it very gamified. Where, like after you hit the button, it replays the last like 6 seconds as like a replay.
Really?
Like a slow mo,
like
or
Call of
something.
Duty type.
Yeah,
thing.
like a kill cam, but no one's dying. Hopefully. Yeah. So.
Well, I think it's really cool because first of all, when I go to the gym, I find it incredibly hard to get my friends to go with me, like to make that giant commitment of saying, okay, me and you are going to drive to the gym, spend the hour together, and do it. Right. But what I do enjoy is that I used to get on a FaceTime call with my friend in the morning, and obviously these are like, sort of like my best friends because why would you work out with someone that you're like,
kind of friends with?
Yeah, kind of friends with. And we like to talk we were very big into, talking, smack. Oh yeah, dude, like I did 20 push-ups, you did 19, like this
exactly. There's that element of extra motivation. It's human nature. I mean, people want to compete and be a little bit better than other people. The hard part is making it fun and keeping it like friendly, like extremely like jovial, like how you were just saying. Like at the end you say that, your buddy be like, oh come on, like you're laughing. And you don't want to make it so intense where people are like arguing or getting angry. Like a lot of games can end that way.
I can imagine.
But so we want that friendly competition. We want it to be fun.
And it's also convenient. I think that's the best part. It's
super convenient. You work out from anywhere, all body weight. You don't have to know workouts. It shows you animated workouts, completely free. And I mean, it's probably the safest way to work out. You don't have to go to a gym. You don't have to lift weights if you don't know how to.
That's true.
I mean, most people could do the body weight workouts and know their own limits. And I mean, that's a small thing, but like injury prevention and like COVID prevention, it's the best thing you could possibly do. Stay home.
Exactly.
And work out without weights.
And you also have yoga and stuff too, right?
Yep. So we have a big yoga section where you can kind of put in your mood, tired, excited,
really
chill. Probably scale of like 1 to 3. Super simple. You just say how you feel, and it'll put together a couple of good workout or a couple of good yoga poses for you and a friend. Like downward dog. I mean, I don't know that many, but tree. You have to put in your obviously your skill level. It'll be like a little survey at the beginning because there's some pretty tough yoga workouts. We did some focus groups where we brought people in. We gave them like 15 workouts from super easy to super hard, and like we could like find the limit for most people.
Really?
And we had everyone rank each workout by how hard they thought it was. And we average all the data. But yeah, yoga's great, and you can do it every morning on the app with your friends, and it's very healthy. It's free. You don't have to go anywhere, and it can just be a 20-minute part of your day.
That's awesome. And also, do you guys do sort of like, I think the biggest difficulty that comes with it is sort of, I used to get these habit apps where it's like, if you're trying to build good habits, then it's tough to, wake up in the morning, take a shower, work out, like all those things.
Oh, yeah.
So do you find that it's actually, did you build yours into the app? Like, okay, it's 7 o'clock, 7 a.m., time to do your workout.
Yeah, we've discussed features like that. I think the hardest part for people to make change is that you make promises for yourself that you think that you're motivated to keep at the time, but then when the time comes, you're not motivated enough.
Yeah.
And that's because when you're motivated, you want to build out, you want to basically go from your unhealthy lifestyle to the healthiest possible lifestyle, tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Today I sat around and did nothing. Tomorrow I'm going to wake up at 6. I'm going to run. I'm going to take a shower. I'm going to eat a healthy breakfast. I think that you're setting yourself up to fail. You're going to wake up, see the mountain of stuff that you have to do, and just not do any of it. But I think it's healthier, in my opinion. I have no experience in nutrition, doctor.
No, well,
I'm none of that. But if you have tomorrow, I'm going to do one healthy thing.
Yeah.
Like just one. I'm going to eat breakfast tomorrow. You wake up, you'll be like, oh, I should do that thing.
Yeah.
Eat it, and then
eat a good breakfast.
Yeah. And be like, all right, I can slack off, whatever now. But at least you ate the breakfast. Before, you probably wouldn't have done any of that. So maybe after a week of that, you add something new. You go, I'm going to eat breakfast. I'm also going to shower right after, and then I'm going to go on a walk, or maybe the other way around. And I think if you slowly add stuff, that's better than saying, all right, tomorrow I'm going to do these 900 healthy things. I'm going to live like a D1 athlete for a day when I'm like a couch potato.
It's true.
It's impossible to make that jump. So
psychologically, that is true. Psychologically, it's like literally if you have, let's say, I'm writing a book about bad habits. So let's say you have a bad habit of smoking. Mm-hmm. You actually have like a neurological system that is built to keep smoking, right? Like that's literally what it is. Mm-hmm. So it's very difficult to have 900 different like bad habits that you have, and then try to break them all at one time and break all the systems, right? Yeah. Like it's
impossible.
Yeah.
Yeah, it goes the other way too. Like forming good habits, just as hard. Like we've already talked about it, but like there's a lot of things I want to do to like be healthier and like even just like intellectually, like read more books, do all this. But if tomorrow my goal is to go to the gym, read 2 books, do all my homework, go to sleep at 8, like you don't have the willpower to do all that.
You don't.
But tomorrow I'm going to go to the gym tomorrow. Like that's good. That's a good start.
Yeah.
At least. I mean, I'm not talking. That's not a good long-term plan. Like only doing one good thing a day.
Yeah.
But
well, you build it up
to start. Yeah, to start. So with the workout app, we're not targeting like athletes. We're not targeting like people that are really, because they're probably going to go to the gym. They're probably going to find a way to work out. Yeah. And we're looking for people that they want to work out, but they don't have the motivation to go to the gym.
The tweeners.
Yeah, the tweeners. Yeah, people that are motivated but not that motivated. And the goal is eventually they'll be motivated enough to use it every day, and they'll feel better. I mean, they'll physically feel better after using the app, or at least they should.
And I think it's also more convenient, which is awesome. So it's like a lot of people, they say, I don't have the time to drive 5 minutes to get to the gym, work out for an hour, and then come back. It's like all you got to do. I do this personally. I do as many push-ups as I possibly can do once I'm done with my morning walk, right? And then once I'm done with my morning walk, I do push-ups, and then I hang from a bar, and that's it, right? It doesn't have to be some crazy complex workout. Yeah. So what you guys do is you regiment something where it's literally just incredibly convenient. All you do is just take 10 minutes out of your day to be healthy.
Especially if you frame it like that. Like, it's only going to be 10 minutes, 15 minutes. I mean, anyone could do that. Anyone could find 10 to 15 minutes in their day.
It's true.
I think for me, one of the biggest limiting factors of going to the gym is I got to drive 15 minutes to Planet Fitness. And then I got to be there for 45 minutes. I can't leave early or else the people at the front are going to look at me funny.
Yeah.
This guy was here for 5 minutes. So I got to spend the time. And I got to come back, and I got to shower, and all of a sudden this is a 2-3 hour block when I also have to go to work that day. I also have to, try to, walk my dog. I got to do all these things. So hopefully it makes that a better way to work out. I mean, there's a ton of workout apps, and I don't think that my workout app specifically will be objectively better than any other. I think it's just a whole new experience.
The collaboration.
Yeah,
aspect.
You work with a buddy. I mean, if you are very motivated without a buddy and you have a fitness app, it'll work. I mean, it just tells you what to do. It doesn't actually do anything for you. But a lot of those apps don't keep your motivation going. So this one kind of builds in the motivation because you have to be with a friend.
And you're doing it with your friend, and hopefully it's your best friend, so you guys have some nice, collaboration.
Yeah, I think one of the anecdotes we got right at the start was when I pitched this to one of the investors, the investigator goes, oh, no way, my wife, every night, her and all her friends get into a big FaceTime call and they do yoga. And like that, yeah, we could easily integrate like group calls.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I think people already want to work out with others, but there's no good way to do it in a workout app.
That's awesome. I think that's incredible. So how could people, if they're interested, how could people get in it now? And then also, how could they maybe subscribe to it when it's out in the future?
Yeah, I mean, we'd love to have anyone test it. We just released alpha. We sent out, I think, 96 private download links, and we have people using it now. If they want to get into it now, I mean, honestly, they'd probably contact you, and then you could contact me.
You could do it.
Yeah, I think once the app's actually released, it's going to be called Dojo. It'll be on the App Store and the... what is it, Google Play Store?
Google Play, yeah.
Not a big Android guy. It'll be on both of those. Get the beta, and it should hopefully be fun. I think that's what we really want it to be.
That's cool. I think during COVID, it's just absolutely incredible to have, that collaboration with your friends and things like that.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So when do you think it will be out, by the way?
Hopefully, public beta will be early October. We've kind of had some debate amongst our team about how realistic that is. We're going to have to grow the team to really reach that goal. But I'd say by the end of October, this will be in the App Store.
Really? That's awesome. Yeah, no, if anyone's looking forward to it, I'm personally looking forward to it. But so, just to recap, first of all, this was a great conversation. I do want to recap on what are the lessons that you tell for somebody who is not only trying to be like an influencer, but because we don't even use the term influencer, someone who's trying to grow their grow their influence, but at the same time just someone who's trying to pursue a goal, right? And they have their entire mindset on a goal, like Zexy Zach, but they don't really know how to get started, or they sort of need some tips and tricks.
I think kind of a culmination of everything we've talked about. If you want to do something, all your passion is going to be right at the start, and you can burn out really quickly. I mean, like, I'll have one day, I'm like, I'm going to learn how to play the guitar. Like, I have a guitar, and, like, I play it, like, a little bit every day. But when I started, I was like, I'm going to learn everything about the guitar. Yeah. And then, like, on the second day, I wasn't as interested anymore. I think, like, finding balance in it, and, like, we're talking about, like, rewarding yourself. I mean, you have to make it worthwhile, especially if you're chasing a goal. I mean, if you really, really believe in it, like, the only danger to me is that you're going to burn yourself out. Like, if you're trying to do 100 things a day for your goal, you're going to get tired of it. You have to kind of reward yourself. I think for me, I mean, I was gaming, and then I had to edit, like as you said. Yeah. Editing was the work, gaming was the fun. So, it was super balanced. I don't think anyone can put their head down, do a bunch of stuff they don't want to do, and think they're going to keep doing that. So hopefully what your goals are fun, and they are fulfilling. And if not, then you have to balance it out with something that is. So, you're editing video, eat some chips. I guess that's my advice.
Give yourself at least a little reward.
I mean, look, you're a human being. Your mind is as strong as you want it to be. But in the end, like you're a human. Like your goals and your business dreams are only one part of who you are as a whole. So you have to make sure you appease the other side too. Yeah,
and also another thing that you put that I thought was super interesting. If you're really trying to go for a goal, you got to prioritize it.
Yeah,
it's got to be the thing you're going for. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree. I don't see how. I mean, they say like starting a business, like you're going to be working a ton, like it's going to be hard. Like, yeah. If it's not like your first priority, it probably won't go anywhere. So.
That's awesome. All right, John Moore and Zexy Zach, thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for having me. This was awesome.